What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the Nines. We've got a very special video for you today. We're going to do another one of those 5 things we've learned from Leicester Watford. Obviously, beating Watford 4-1 with a pretty much D-team squad with a load of the under-23 players. We're going to look through some of them. We're going to look through some of the players that really impressed in this game. Again, it came out of absolutely nowhere. But let's get straight into the recording and look at 5 things that you might have missed from the match. So the first thing we're going to look at is the formation. So you can see here, we set with a 4-3-3. Again, this was defensively and the 3-4-3 out of attack. We'll look at the other formation a little bit later. But when we would talk about defending, we had a 4-3-3 formation. This player here is Brunt. Now, when the lineups initially came out, it looked like Brunt was playing in this CDM position and Chowdhury would have been playing in this. Sorry, Chowdhury was playing in this CDM position and Brunt would have been playing in this DM position. But as the match went on, we realized that Chowdhury was actually the defender. We'll come on to him in a little bit. And a lot of these players are new to this. They've just come back. Perez come back into the team. Tillemans has just come back in the previous game. Barnes, again, was brilliant. Lookman, we'll get into a little bit about his formation that we played there. Maddison, again, was not really taking the winger position, but he was taking this cam position, then pushing over to this right position as well. And sometimes overlapping Lookman, which we'll look into in a little bit later. But in the back line, Chowdhury, Albrighton, who, again, we'll look at the formation a little bit later. But defensively, this is how we work. Daly Campbell on this side, Vestergaard on this side. And this is how we worked for the first 45 minutes. So once we were in possession of the ball, we set up a little bit differently. We set like a 3 at the back, 3-4-3 formation. So Albrighton went from this right back position to pushing really high up in this position. Perez was allowing a lot of the overlap while Maddison came on the inside here as well. And we'll mention Lookman a little bit later. But again, he was playing a right of a centre back and right of a back 3 at times, with Brunt pushing back into this left wing position. Then it left Ayoze Perez to do a lot of work down this side. Brunt to then push into like a CDM and create a double pivot with Tillemans a lot of the time. And it gave Daly Campbell a lot of work on that side. Now we're looking at obviously Barnes and Lookman as well. This formation allows us to get the best out of these 3. I know Lookman is actually, we thought he was a left winger. But when we look at the formations and we look at Leicester City officially, they could list him as a forward compared to Barnes, which was more of a left winger. So it was interesting to see. And I think the way that we worked fantastically for this place. One of the disadvantages of the fact that Leicester playing so many youth players that can't put them off in the formation, because obviously Vontae Daly Campbell came out and Madi Vadua went into that position as well. And we did change up slightly. Somebody like Brunt played really well in 2 different positions, playing alongside Tillemans as that double pivot, but also in the second half, playing that left-sided defender, which I think he did fantastically. We'll get on to point 2 right now. So the second point I want to mention is somebody that's now on fire at the moment, apart from James Maddison, Ademola Lookman. Again, this is a position for him. He did fantastically in this. And what we'll see about before, when we were playing that 3-4-3, out of possession, we've seen again, Albrighton here playing the wing-back position, Ayoze Perez playing in that kind of this more centered role. And then this allows Barnes to then create space, but also Maddison to create space here. But when you've got Lookman in this position, again, we said he played him through the middle. Well, what was brilliant about him is that his hold-up play was fantastic, as we saw from here in the next clip as well. But also, from this position, what was brilliant about him as well is that his ability to play a false 9. That's something that I didn't know before, that he's a forward, but he's able to play multiple positions. I thought he'd just play on the wing. He was the main striker for Fulham, and now we're seeing that a lot of the time when Mitrovic were injured. But now we're starting to see that for Leicester. Obviously, we've got a lot of injuries, and this isn't his main position. But in this, his combination with the likes of Barnes, with the likes of James Maddison for this, he got 2 assists, bearing in mind. He was playing really, really well in this game. And I think, he was a fantastic player. As we can see from this position, Albrighton gets it in here, did some fantastic work. He had a really good game. We'll get onto a little bit later as well. Lookman receives the ball. Maddison comes over this way, and it allows Lookman to then come left and come right and just chip it across to Maddison, who slots it off really nicely. But again, it starts from this position, because if you look at this position right here, he's just picked up the spot between the 2 defenders. Now, this is something that he's doing as a winger, but even then, he's not charging forward. He's quick, but he's not got the pace as some people. What's great about this, Maddison is then seeing the opportunity as the ball's coming in to create space and then getting in a good position as well, which is great to see. And from Lookman, he's only going from better to better, to be honest. He's really thriving in this team, and you love to see it. So as you saw there, Lookman doing some great work, getting the assist, but also was playing in loads of different roles. What was brilliant about his hold-up plays, he's allowed to bring in the pace of Barnes, but also the directness and the finishing of Maddison as well. And that's what I was really impressed with in this game. Not his work off the ball was fantastic, but also his ability to bring other people into games. And you're looking at the likes of Vardy, and I won't say he's similar, but he does the job quite well in that same role and bringing other people into the game. I think Lookman did really, really well for this. Right, let's look at point number 3. So the man that you know I'm going to talk about, if you know me and you've known the channel for a while, you know how much of a fan I am of Hamza Chowdhury. And what a performance. It seems like, again, the cliche thing that's going around at the moment, our best 3 defenders have been non-defenders. Daniel Amate, Wilfred Ndidi, and now adding a third one in as the CDM. Hamza Chowdhury, phenomenal performance today alongside Yannick Vestergaard, who had a decent-ish game, a good game at max, and then Lewis Brunt as well, who was, again, deserves a lot of credit for playing 2 different positions as well. But Hamza Chowdhury was all over the place and was fantastic. We'll look at some of the screenshots we've got now. So as you can see here, we're setting up again defensively. This is again at 3-1. So we're going, we've secured the win now, but we're still playing this hybrid system of a 3-4-3, but out of possession. As you can see here, we've got the 4 in line here, then your 3, and then so you got Madua, and then you've got McAteer, and I can't tell who that is. I think that's Tillemans as well. And then your 3 attacking players. So your 4-3-3. He was playing this right side, this centre back, right-sided centre back. We know at times that Yannick Vestergaard has not got the pace, and we'll look at some of the screenshots later on. However, any balls that he couldn't get to, he was cleaning them up. Hamza Chowdhury had such a good game and was cleaning up all the balls that are coming around there. A couple of times they broke. So for in this position, he broke. It was breaking to go to Yao Pedro, I think that is. But again, Watford had a lot of change teams as well. Chowdhury just stuck on the man all the time. And bearing in mind that was his first game I've seen, I think it's in his professional game that he's played at centre-back. And he did phenomenally well. Unfortunately, I don't have any more screenshots because I couldn't find any more video footage to show you guys compared to the previous one. But in this, again, a lot of people shouting about Hamza, and I'm going to be one of them because a fantastic performance from that centre-back position. We can see from another screenshot here that Chowdhury, again, was playing out of position. At the time, Vestergaard, obviously, our other centre-back, dragged out of position. He, I think, got a ball taken off him, and it was passed quickly. Hamza Chowdhury being the only defender here, ended up getting the ball, and then it didn't lead to a goal, but it could have been a goal from Watford. However, he wasn't at fault, but playing this role really, really well. As you can see, it's not. We thought he would be playing further up the pitch, and we've seen him in the CDM role. For example, the game against Aston Villa last season did give the ball away in an area that was not quite dangerous, and then Ross Barkley went and converted it. What we're saying here, with him thrive in this new position, the screenshot doesn't really tell you, but at the same time, he got the ball, he was to fall to the floor, but it shows you just from the formation, everybody's running back. He did manage to stop that. And again, I will try and find more screenshots, but there aren't any available that I can find. Fantastic performance from Hamza Chowdhury at centre-back, and hopefully when the games come and we're lacking centre-backs, he could be the option for us. Point number 4, Leicester City started the game strong. It's something that we've actually complained about a lot so far, is that you look at the Man City game, we let them come into the game, and especially this, we've not woken up quick enough. From this, and maybe it was the formation change, or we had to get everybody together from minute 1, Leicester City worked together as a team. And from minute 1, Watford were there for the taking. However, considering the amount of people playing different positions, Marco Brighton at right back, we've seen it a couple of times. You're talking Hamza Chowdhury at centre back. We're talking these new players like Brunt that come in for his first cap, Vontae Daly Campbell for his third cap. So you're looking at these players playing on the other side, because bearing in mind he's a right back, he's having to play left back, which is not great, but it's the situation we're in at the moment. You're looking at all these things and you're going, right, this has every advantage for Leicester. Just sit back and be a bit nervous and let Watford play into the game. They played strongly. And what was brilliant, as we saw in that kind of formations of 4-3-3, Marco Brighton got that ball, defended really well, took the ball, and then passed it over to Perez. And then there was a lot of work, especially down that right-hand side, to make the most of that. Phenomenal work from the team. And it just shows you, when we start playing from minute 1, we got the penalty, I think, in the 6th or 7th minute or something. Very, very early on, which obviously changed the game and allowed Leicester to relax a little bit. But when we play front-footed football, we can really challenge any team in the league. And finally, point number 5, the way that we transition the ball. what was fantastic, we'll look at some examples now, but the ability to get the ball from the defense and have the attack and purpose going forward. So obviously the second goal is a great example of it, which we looked at before, but I also want to look at the fourth goal and the attacking intent, even with the scoreline as what it is. Brendan Rodgers, from what we've heard as well, and what we saw on the touchline, was making sure that every single player committed till the last minute, which is fantastic to see. We weren't happy with sit back at 3-1. We wanted to push on again and again. And even at 4-1, we wanted to make sure we got another goal. We'll look at the goal for the fourth. We look at our fourth goal now. So looking at the formation here, we can see McAteer over there in number 49 shirt. Again, I wasn't too sure. I had to look it up before this, but we're looking at this and we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players attacking the ball from the front or very high up the pitch at 3-1 down. This is going for the fourth goal. McAteer wins it here, then breaks it to Barnes, who then dashes up this hand side. Then you've got obviously Maddison and Lookman in the middle. But look at the starting position. Bearing in mind he's played all the minutes so far of Mark Albrighton, touched up right on this right hand side. We win the ball here again. That's probably close to the halfway line. And the speed in which we can break and the purpose and the intent which we can show from this young players to then get the ball up this side over into the position where we eventually get the fourth goal is fantastic. So as we can see here, this is just after that screenshot we just looked at afterwards. Barnes has then stormed this side, and you're looking, Albrighton's on his bike. These two are dashing into centre again at 3-1. Making up so much room for Barnes, again, taking so many players with him. He took so many players out of the game. Him and McAteer, McAteer's pass over and Barnes' dribbling ability, taking so many players out of the game. But also, he's not afraid to do it on his own. Bearing in mind, this is coming to like the 80-odd minute that we went for our fourth goal. And these two are pushing into the box as a Lookman and James Maddison, both on their bikes, but also Mark Albrighton, again, out of absolutely nowhere, is coming to the intent to get into the box to try and finish if the opportunity is there. Bearing in mind, Brendan Rodgers has said before in press conferences, if you can't run forward, don't run back if you can't run forward. So if they get the ball on the counter-attack, Mark Albrighton has to go all the way back to the side to try and defend at right back. So I really want to emphasize how much work rate, and he really goes underrated, Mark Albrighton, not from Leicester fans, but from other fans. But in this screenshot, I really want to show you how much distance he covered for his goal. But also, if this was saved, he'd have to run all the way back. And this is closing the 80th minute. It's just phenomenal. So as we can see here, this is further on. Barnes on this left-hand side. The ball has just been saved because he put the ball over, Harvey Barnes, over to Lookman on this side. Again, it was a good save from Bachmann at the end of the day. But look, again, just want to highlight the amount of work that Mark Albrighton has made up, the amount of ground, but also the position that Maddison is in if the ball was to come to him. Lookman with the opportunity, which again was a good save. And we'll look at the final screenshot that Mark Albrighton put away. So from then, Bachmann's shot ricochets into Mark Albrighton's pass. Kind of unlucky if you're Bachmann, but at the same time, it's no less than Mark Albrighton deserves. Hits the ball there, and we'll see from the next screenshot where it lands. So here you can see Mark Albrighton going away and celebrating with the Leicester fans, all hands in the air, 4-1 now. Great position, great overall play, but also just shows the attacking intent of the team. And the 3-1 is enough to put a game to bed, but we want to push for 4 and then 5 and then 6. With these young players, it's just fantastic to see. A lot of them, again, especially in this game, McAteer having his second cap. You're looking at the likes of James Maddison coming into more of a management role, to be honest. He was telling people and letting people know about the position and what to do and don't worry about certain things as well. It's just some great play. And Mark Albrighton, again, Captain Kevin, as Alex says, Captain Kevin to finish off the performance. All it was missing was a Hamza Chowdhury goal. I'm more than happy with how it finished out. So thank you guys for watching one of these other videos. Really appreciate you taking the time out. Again, if you enjoyed these, make sure you leave a like. We're trying to do more of these. There wasn't as many screenshots, not as much resources as I had for this game because of the lack of resources that are available. But what a performance and what a team. Let's see what happens with the rest of the month. Again, it's a hard month coming up from the time of recording. We are playing Everton next. We'll see how that goes because, again, we're going from a second-tier Premier League team to another, to a second squad Premier League squad to then like a better Premier League squad with Damari Gray coming back. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, make sure to check out the channel. Check out all the stuff for Leicester City women. They've been doing, Hannah and James have been doing some magnificent work with Emily Sanders, with Sam Tierney as well in interviews, so make sure you go and check that out. Apart from that, everybody, thank you so much. We'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.